In my last draft video, I was focusing on building a team with Salah and Haaland in. You guys in the comments have been asking me to try one including Trent, so the big three, Trent, Haaland and Salah, and that's exactly what I've got planned for you today. I'm going to take you through what I think is the best draft with those three players in, and then I'll show you a few variations at the end. Between the sticks, I've made a change and gone with Aaron Ramsdale. The reason for that is that I've upgraded Gabriel in defence, which we'll come on to shortly, and I still wanted to include some defensive Arsenal cover. The Gunners kept 14 clean sheets last term, with only Man United earning more. So I do prefer Ramsdale to Pickford for the opening game weeks if funds allow. It is of course Trent Alexander-Arnold who comes in at the expense of Gabriel. The right back excelled in a hybrid midfield role towards the end of last season, accruing 7 assists and a goal in his final 10 appearances. Liverpool found 10 of their 14 clean sheets after the World Cup break, only Man United kept more in that time with 12. John Stones, Luke Shaw and Pervis Estupiñán all keep their places from the last draft. When you're trying to accommodate Salah and Haaland as well as Trent, some of the more premium attackers have to be sacrificed. And so I think rather than going with low-end budget midfielders, it can be preferable to load up on reliable assets in defence, from top 6 sides with attractive opening fixtures. In his final 10 matches last season, Mohamed Salah accrued a league best tally of 78 FPL points, notching 7 goals and 5 assists. The only change in midfield from the last draft is that Marcus Rashford has made way. Mitoma, Saka and Mbeumo I still think are strong favourites to include in your Gameweek 1 squad. Rashford and Bruno Fernandes are both generously priced, and going without at least one of them is perhaps the biggest drawback of this setup. But Bukayo Saka is a bigger priority at that price point for me. Though he tailed off towards the end, the Arsenal talisman was particularly reliable at the Emirates last term, where he picked up 10 goals and 7 assists in 19 outings. Arsenal are at home for 3 of their opening 4 game weeks. Partnering Erling Haaland up top is Brighton's Evan Ferguson, a cut price alternative to the popular Gabriel Jesus, who allows for a more balanced team. Minor concerns over his starting place, he's still very young at only 18 years of age, but he impressed last season with 6 goals and 2 assists since breaking into the team after the World Cup. And he started 8 of the last 13 matches he was available for. Sheffield United wingback George Baldock has become a more attractive prospect among the 4 million defenders, following the announcement of a blank Game Week 2 for Jordan Bayer and Amory Bell. There's still no standout option at 4.5 million in midfield, though marvellous Nakamba was left out of the Aston Villa squad for their first pre-season friendly. He spent the second half of last season on loan at Luton, and it's possible we could see him return on a permanent deal. So this is my preferred draft, which includes the big 3, but now I'll take you through a couple of alternative drafts, which I also think are worth considering. So here I've stuck with the 4-4-2 formation, but I've made downgrades in defence, with Pickford, Gabriel and Zinchenko coming in for Ramsdale, Shaw and Stones. And that has allowed an upgrade from Ferguson to Nkunku up top. In this third variation, I've sacrificed Bryan Mbeumo for Dwight McNeil, who supplied 5 goals and 4 assists in 18 appearances under Sean Dyche last season. Only Kevin De Bruyne, Solly March and Bruno Fernandes created more than his 9 big chances in that spell. The extra funds allow for John Stones to come in rather than Zinchenko, and for Gabriel Jesus to return up top. Finally, I have a 3-5-2 option, which sees the return of Mbeumo in place of Stones. And it's back to Nkunku rather than Jesus up top to balance the books. So let me know your thoughts on these drafts in the comments below. Do you think it's viable to start the season with the big 3, Trent, Salah and Haaland? Or do you prefer the balance that comes when you drop one of the 3? Stay tuned for more pre-season content and I'll see you in the next video.